Hello, everybody, and welcome to Echoes of History, where lost voices of the past finally get to speak. Tonight, we are not entering temples. We are not admiring pyramids. Tonight, we are stepping into fear. Because ancient Egypt did not rule through kindness. It ruled through punishment. And once you understand how Egypt punished its people, you may realize why obedience was absolute. Imagine this. You are standing in an ancient Egyptian village at dawn. The Nile is calm. The air is quiet. And then someone screams, not in pain, in terror. A crime has been discovered. It does not matter how small, a stolen tool, a broken oath, a word spoken against a superior. In Egypt, crime is not personal. It is cosmic. Because Egyptians believed every action disrupted Ma'at, the divine order of the universe, and disorder was unforgivable. You are seized, not violently, calmly, because resistance is pointless. There is no trial like you imagine. There are witnesses, confessions, often forced, and judgment is swift. Justice is not about fairness. It is about example. Punishment is public, because fear spreads faster when shared. Now listen carefully, because Egypt's punishments were not always violent. They were worse. You may be beaten, yes, but more terrifying is removal. Your name erased from records, your property seized, your family shamed. In Egypt, to lose your name was to lose your afterlife. Some criminals were sentenced to forced labor, quarries, mines, endless construction, work until collapse, then dragged aside, replaced. Others were exiled, cast into the desert, not killed, abandoned. Because the desert was not empty. It was chaos itself. For priests who broke sacred law, punishment was silence, stripped of rank. Forbidden to speak ritual words, imagine knowing sacred knowledge and being forbidden to use it. For scribes, the punishment was humiliation, hands bound, words read aloud, mistakes announced, because intelligence made punishment sharper. Egypt understood something modern societies forget. Pain fades, shame does not. Now we enter the darkest level. Crimes against the state, against temples, against the pharaoh. These were not punished. They were destroyed. Some were beaten publicly, some mutilated, hands, ears, noses, not to kill, but to mark. A walking warning. Others were imprisoned, dark, airless cells beneath temples. No light, no sound, no time. But the most feared punishment was this: denial of burial. To die unburied meant the soul could not reach the afterlife. No judgment, no peace, only wandering. Egyptians feared this more than death itself, because death was organized. Punishment was eternal. Now pause and ask yourself something terrifying. Why are there so few prisons in ancient Egypt? Because they did not need them. Fear did the work. From childhood, Egyptians learned, watch your words, watch your actions, watch your thoughts. Because punishment was not just physical, it was spiritual. And here is the truth history rarely says out loud. Ancient Egypt was stable because it was terrifying, not violent chaos, but controlled fear. Punishment was not about revenge, it was about preservation of order. Break the order, and you were erased. And maybe that is why the pyramids still stand, not because Egypt was kind, but because Egypt was strict, and silence was safer than resistance. Thank you for spending this time inside a system that ruled through fear. If this story unsettled you tonight, please like, subscribe to Echoes of History, and ring the bell. Some punishments were never meant to be remembered, but forgetting them is even more dangerous.